The Crips are one of the most widely known street gangs to originate in the United States. They began in the early 1970s in Los Angeles and later spread to other cities and states. Different sets, subgroups, operate under the Crips identity, and structure can vary from neighborhood to neighborhood. What follows is a general, educational portrayal of how progression can look in some sets. It is not an endorsement, rather, it is meant to show the psychological and social realities tied to each stage. Pre-affiliate. You wake up early and step outside into the neighborhood, not as a member but as someone searching for belonging. You stand on the edge of conversations, watching how older guys move, how they greet each other, how they speak in coded language that you barely understand but desperately want to learn. You keep your hands in your pockets and nod when they look your way. You feel small, but you also feel hopeful. You listen more than you talk. You memorize faces, slang, colors, gestures. You change the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself. You pretend confidence even when your heart races. When someone laughs, you laugh. When someone goes quiet, you go quiet. You are studying the atmosphere like it is a classroom and survival is the final exam. You run small errands without being asked twice. You bring drinks, pass along simple messages, and prove that you can be trusted with minor tasks. Nobody gives you a title, but everyone watches how you respond to pressure. When tension rises on the block, you stay still and alert, trying not to look afraid. You crave recognition. You want someone to say your name with approval. You imagine what it would feel like to be officially included instead of hovering at the edge. You tell yourself that loyalty is everything. You tell yourself that this is how respect begins. You are not inside yet, but you are no longer just an outsider. Level 2, the baby lock, new recruit. You wake up and check your phone immediately because now people expect you to answer. You carry a nickname that replaces your real name, and when someone calls it out, you feel a rush of pride. You are official, but you are at the bottom. You show up when told. You do not question instructions. If someone older says move, you move. If someone says stay quiet, you stay quiet. You understand that respect is earned through obedience and consistency. Every action feels like a test. You learn the history of your set, the rivalries, the boundaries of different neighborhoods. You memorize which streets are safe and which ones require caution. You feel the weight of representing something bigger than yourself. You are tested emotionally and socially. When conflict sparks, you are expected to stand firm. Fear tries to creep in, but you push it down because hesitation looks like weakness. You want to prove that you belong here. You begin to separate yourself from your old life. Friends who are not involved drift away. Your time, your language, your habits change. You feel more connected to the group and more distant from everything else. You are still learning, still absorbing, but now you carry responsibility. You are no longer watching from the outside. You are inside, and the expectations are real. Level 3, the active member, lock. You wake up and people call you directly. You are not the newest anymore. You understand how things work, and others notice. You stand with more confidence because you have already proven yourself. You move through the neighborhood with awareness. You recognize faces, read body language, and sense tension before it explodes. Younger recruits look at you the way you once looked at older members. You correct them when they speak wrong or move carelessly. You are active in daily operations. You help organize meetups, spread information, and maintain unity. When disagreements happen, you help calm them or reinforce decisions made above you. You feel the importance of your role growing. You are expected to stand strong during confrontations. Your loyalty is no longer questioned, but it is constantly demonstrated through action. You feel pride in being dependable. At the same time, pressure increases. You understand that visibility brings risk. You watch for law enforcement, for rival presence, for internal tension. You live in a constant state of alertness. You are no longer proving you belong. You are defending that belonging every day. Level 4, the trusted soldier, core member. You wake up with responsibility on your mind. You know more than most, and information flows through you. Leadership trusts you with details that are not shared widely. You help coordinate plans and settle internal disputes before they grow. When younger members argue, you step in with authority. Your voice carries weight. People listen because you have earned that respect. You think strategically now. You consider consequences before acting. You balance loyalty with caution. You understand that one reckless decision can bring serious consequences for everyone. You represent stability. Others rely on you to stay calm when tensions rise. You mentor those below you and support those above you. You feel the pressure of influence. Your choices shape outcomes. You carry the responsibility quietly, knowing that mistakes multiply at this level. You are trusted, and that trust defines you. Level 5, the shot caller, local leader. You wake up to messages asking for direction. You are part of the decision-making circle. You help determine how situations are handled and who is responsible for what. You manage personalities and pride. You prevent small conflicts from turning into large problems. You think beyond today and consider long-term survival. You speak carefully because your words carry authority. Younger members measure themselves against your approval. You model discipline and consistency. You also feel exposure. Visibility increases risk. Law enforcement attention and rival awareness grow. You calculate moves carefully. You balance strength with restraint. Sometimes the smartest move is patience. Sometimes leadership means saying no. You are steering direction, not just following it. Level 6, the influential OG, original gangster. You wake up with experience shaping every thought. You have seen success and loss. You understand consequences deeply. You no longer need to prove anything. Your reputation stands on its own. When you enter a room, silence follows out of respect. You advise rather than act impulsively. You guide leaders and caution against unnecessary risk. You emphasize unity and discipline. You carry memories that younger members cannot fully understand. You have seen what happens when decisions go wrong. You influence culture more than daily action. Your words shape mindset. You are respected not for aggression but for wisdom. Level 7, the veteran who sees the bigger picture. You wake up reflecting on change. You see how things evolved over time. You notice patterns repeating in younger members. You speak about legacy and consequence. You encourage smarter paths and caution against reckless behavior. You recognize the social forces that shaped everything. You understand how environment influences choices. You choose your involvement carefully. You step in only when necessary. You carry perspective that few others possess. You are still respected, but you are more reflective than reactive. Level 8, the elder statesman. You wake up with distance from daily activity. Your phone rings less often, but when it does, it matters. You offer guidance during major decisions. You remind others of history and lessons learned. You observe more than you act. You see cycles clearly and understand the weight of influence. You measure loyalty against long-term outcomes. You consider impact beyond the present moment. You speak with calm authority. Younger generations listen because you represent experience. You are no longer defined by action but by perspective.